Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, the 25th of June, 2023, ending Friday, the 30th of June. So that'll be the last day of June and the last day of the first half of 2023. So statements print after Friday, which will probably make for a fairly dull day on Friday. Might see a little bit of a rally because they're going to get paid on their bonuses based on where the markets close on Friday, but we will see what happens from that perspective as it plays out. This is a full week, other than the fact that it is the end of the month, quarter, and half year. A lot of times markets do shift directions after this close. Next week is an awkward week because 4th of July is on Tuesday. So we've got Monday open, which nobody will be around for because Tuesday is the holiday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is not usually something people are going to show up for a half week. So usually the slowest week of the summer is the 4th of July week, but definitely when you've got the 4th of July in the middle of the week like that, that does not help. It's one thing if it's on like a Friday, that maybe doesn't make it quite as bad. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. This thing's been nowhere for 8 months, basically. Pound dollar is near highs, a little bit stronger, a little bit more movement, but not really. The euro dollar, usually the inverse of the dollar index, are pretty close to it, sitting where it was back in January. The pound yen has been on the rise, obviously. The ES front month futures contract, this is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form, as usual. And, you know, it is what it is. Like we've made new highs for the last so many months, and yet pulled back this last week, but it was pretty. You can see how slow it was this week. I mean, very just small candles pulling back, not a big deal. S&P 500, same chart, obviously. Made new highs a week ago and then pulled back here this last week. Nasdaq 100, same story. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in particular, even Tuesday, were really boring in the markets. We kind of just stuck in the same range. Russell 2000, on the other hand, did drop a bit. Crude oil sitting at $69.16 currently. It's been under that 70 level mostly for the last month. And, that's off the highs that were well over 100, obviously. So it is what it is. Gold down a bit, but really sitting where it was 6 months ago as well. So there's not a lot to tell from any of those stories. Here's Bitcoin currently trading at 30,554. Whatever. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, sitting where it was back in Thanksgiving, literally. Hasn't really gone anywhere for a while, so rates haven't moved as much from that perspective. The VIX down to third. This is this crazy thing. All this stuff going on in the world, and we'll see if this changes this week because we've got this variable where there's internal conflict now in Russia, and we'll see what that leads to. But the VIX at 13.44. How low can you go? Usually the VIX maybe gets down to 12, and then we'll see. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq. I'm sorry, on the New York. Negative on Friday. A couple of positive days this week. It's been back and forth. The trend closed at the 10-day moving average closed at 1.09 because we had a couple big readings on the trend this week. So we're nowhere near under that 0.85 level. Just so you know, the 10-day moving average, which is that orange line, we always watch that to see if it gets under the blue line, which is 0.85. It did actually in the middle of the week. That's usually a sell signal in the broad market, and we've been down a little bit, but nothing major. So, the VIX being low, it has room to shoot up. This gave us a sell signal, but we got some high trend readings almost immediately. We'll see what that leads to. The ES front month futures contract. This is the intra week. Remember, Monday was Juneteenth, so we were on holiday. That's why you see that weird day back there. But basically, just Tuesday, a little gap down from the prior week, closed where we opened. Wednesday, a little gap down, closed where we opened. Thursday, a little gap down, came back up a bit. By that point, you're pretty much net nothing for the first 3 days of the week, and then Friday gap down and tried to rally, and then late in the day closed at the lows. So it closed at the lows of the week, but it really wasn't a lot of action. Here's the Nasdaq side, pretty similar. Okay, Apple near highs, Amazon made new highs on Thursday and did not much on Friday. Meta at highs, Google near enough to highs, but not really holding up near the top 10% there. Goldman Sachs got clocked. The banks got hit a bit. Banks have been soft here. Feels like something might be going on there, but that's 5 days straight down on Goldman Sachs. Netflix is what it is, near the highs as well. Tesla back near the highs. Nvidia near the highs, and Zoom not near the highs. So that's a look at the week and some of the key stocks. Not too much super exciting there to get your head around. Then let's take a look at the calendar for the week ahead. And again, wrapping up June. We've got Monday, nothing here in the U.S. Tuesday, durable goods at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Housing price index at 9. Consumer confidence at 10, along with new home sales and Richmond manufacturing index. On Wednesday, we've got the goods trade balance at 8:30, which is about the regular trade balance. We've got wholesale inventories. Also, Fed Chair Powell speaks at 9:30. We've got crude oil inventories at 10:30. And the bank stress test results after the close. Then on Thursday, we've got the final look at GDP for the first quarter, and that's not going to be a big one. It's usually the first look that matters, not the third. Pending home sales at 10, natty gas at 10:30. And then on Friday, PC price index, personal income and spending, Chicago PMI, revised University of Michigan sentiment, and that's it. So, none of our big numbers this week. And again, focus on the end of quarter, end of month, end of half year statement printing on Friday. That'll probably be the focal point and probably slow us down at the back end of the week, especially heading into what is essentially a long weekend because, like I said, the next Tuesday, the markets are closed. So nobody's going to show up for Monday. So you'll probably see people leave Thursday to make it a 5 or 6 day weekend for themselves. Friday, let the statements print. And then we go from there. Charts as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week.